Hello my loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about why some women always look expensive and never tacky even in sweatpants, and why others can look cheap in Chanel. I want to teach you how you can feel expensive, not only externally, but especially internally. If you're new here, my name is Mirella and I love sharing all things self-care, class, and self-growth. And as always, if you want to connect with me, in the description you will find all of my information and my other socials where I post daily tips and so much more about my life. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I decided to divide this video into two parts. The first one will be on the mindset shifts, because I really believe that you can buy all the luxury in the world, but if you don't change what is going on in your head, you will never look expensive because you will be insecure and that's never gonna work. And the second part is on your external looks, so to enhance your beauty and show what you feel on the inside on the outside too. So as for the first tip, if you follow me on other socials, you're probably tired of me saying this because I said this countless times, but it is so important, so I'm gonna repeat myself another time, and it is your posture and body language. Because you can literally be the most beautiful girl in the world, but if you enter a room being insecure, not looking people in the eyes, with a closed body language, you will waste your potential. While you don't even need to be the most beautiful girl in the world, but when you enter into a room, you have an open body language, they see that you're confident, you smile at people, you look people in the eyes when they talk, you sit straight, you have good manners, you're gonna leave an effect on people. Because really, you can dress as good as you want, you can buy all the luxury you want, but if you sit like this, when people talk to you, you don't even look at them, you feel insecure, you're gonna leave a completely different impression. In fact, as for the second point, something you should absolutely work on if you want to feel expensive, if you want to look expensive, is really to work on your self-concept and your confidence. Because that is really what is hiding behind every single one of the points that I'm going to talk about. And if you're confident, all of these things are things that come naturally to you. If you actually believe that you're valuable, that will be shown in the way you treat others, and in the way that you let people treat you, in the way you act, in the way you carry yourself, again, in the posture and body language that you have. And people will treat you the same way you treat yourself. And if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. If people believe that you're insecure, that you have a low self-value, they will not treat you good. They will not see something in you. If you allow them to treat you badly, they're gonna do it. They're never gonna respect you if they feel like you don't even have a high self-concept. So you should definitely work on that. If you have a high self-concept and you have high boundaries, they're gonna have to meet you there. There's no other way. And as for the next point, something that is very important to me is underlying the fact that real confidence for me is also kindness. Because most of the time, the people that act confident but they're not can be recognized by the way they treat others. If they're rude to people, if they're arrogant, if they always feel like they need to prove themselves and show that they're so good, they're probably very insecure. A true and real confident person is also kind and doesn't feel the need to always constantly prove themselves. So kindness is key. There's no need to feel superior. If you feel superior, that means that you're insecure. Another thing that is definitely linked to the first point, so your body language, is definitely your manners. And I'm referring to your manners when you eat, your manners in general. Because if the goal for you is to look expensive, you definitely shouldn't swear in every other sentence. Now, English is not my first language, so maybe I'm not the best example for this. Maybe I'm a better example in Italian, my first language. But also being an eloquent person. So the type of words that you choose, the way you talk, will also send a different message. Now, for my final tip for this first part of the video is to know your standards and never lower them. First of all, because if you have a standard, if you have a boundary and you don't respect it and you constantly lower it, you're gonna show, first of all, that you don't even care about yourself. You don't even respect yourself. So people are not gonna respect it if you don't even care. And second is that you're gonna allow people, things, and experiences that you don't really want. They're not gonna satisfy you. Every single time you lower your standards, you will soon realize the reason why you had standards in the first place. One example is definitely on friendships. And this is something I've done so many times, especially in uni when I felt like I was alone. I knew exactly what I wanted from my friends. There are simple things such as loyalty, such as not talking behind my back. But something that happens very often is that you fear being alone. And so even though these people cross your boundaries, you still allow them to be in your life because you're scared of being alone. Things are not gonna get better. Another example, for instance, is posting on social media. If you know me, even a little bit, if this is not the first time that you've seen my page, you know that I post about self-growth, luxurious things, how to level up your life, self-development, things like that. So one time I received in my inbox an email from a fast fashion brand that was offering me something like 3,000 euros. But thankfully, I didn't accept it. And the reason behind it is that if I lowered my credibility to that point, if I lowered my standards to say yes to that brand, people would not believe in me anymore. How can you talk about luxury if then at the first opportunity that you get, you decide to talk about a fast fashion brand that goes against every single thing you preach just for the money, you know? I would have made some money for sure, but I would have blocked myself from receiving more later, from actually having an audience that trusts me, that likes me, and that knows that what I preach is actually what I like, what I do with my life. You need to keep in mind that opportunities will always come. From my experience, every single time that I lowered my standard, I always regretted it so badly. So never lower your standards. Let people meet you there. So we are done with the mindset shifts. And if you skip to this part, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to them. Because again, you can buy all the luxury you want, but I guarantee you, if you don't change what is going on the inside, you will always look cheap, even in the most expensive clothes you own. So now let's get into the tips on how to look more expensive on the outside. One of the first physical things that people will notice about you is definitely your hair. And I feel like a mistake that a lot of people make is that trying to change their appearance and maybe look more interesting, they fry their hair, maybe trying to look blonde, but that only makes them look worse. I really truly believe that natural, long, healthy hair will always look better than fried hair. So I'm not telling you to necessarily stick to your natural color, but always make sure to keep it healthy. Next is tailoring your clothes. Such a simple thing and also such an affordable thing that will completely change your appearance. Wearing something that hugs your body in the right places can even make you look better than a dress that costs you 1,000 euros, but that is not well fitted. So again, you don't need to spend a lot to look good. Now, a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but having a healthy body is probably one of the most powerful silent messages that you can send. And I'm not talking about being skinny or whatever, because I really believe that there are extremes on both sides, but it communicates again the way you treat yourself. When you have a healthy body, what you're actually silently saying is that you actually take care of yourself. You actually care about yourself, about your health. That you take the time to get out of your way to go to the gym or whatever. That is something that we all hate to do and takes a lot of commitment and discipline. Now, this one might be a little counterintuitive, but for me, something that makes you look very cheap is doing too much plastic surgery. I know that this is a bit counterintuitive because a lot of rich women love to do plastic surgery. But first of all, being rich doesn't mean being classy at all. You can definitely be rich and tacky. And I'm also not even referring to very subtle changes such as a little lip filler or Botox, whatever, which again, you don't even need. But I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to feeling the need to change yourself, look like someone else. All goes back to what you have inside again. You're not going to change the way you feel about yourself, changing something in your face or in your body, whatever. And also trends come and go. Let's think, for example, of BBLs and how ridiculous they look, or the fact that everyone is dissolving the lip filler now because it's not cool anymore to have big lips, or the fact that a lot of beautiful people and the best models don't have a perfect little nose. So you really don't need to have the Instagram face to look good and be elegant. Actually, I believe that the most elegant faces are the ones that are a little bit imperfect. They don't look like an Instagram face. They don't always look the same. Also, it's something that never stops. You will always want more. You will always want more change. So again, you need to change what is on the inside. If you haven't seen that part of the video, definitely go back and watch it. Another thing I would definitely avoid if you want to look classy and elegant is huge logos. I feel like, again, they look kind of tacky. And also dressing in a too provocative way. And my goal here would never be to put women against each other. I really don't think it to be a bad thing to want it to be a little bit more sexy, but it's all about the message that you want to send. Because if you want to have the Pamela Anderson type of beauty, you're gonna look fun, you're gonna look sexy, you're gonna look like a sex symbol just like her, and that's absolutely fine. You're gonna look amazing. But if your goal is a different one and you want to send a completely different message, for example, if you want to look elegant instead of sexy, then the tips are gonna be completely different, you know? So here my goal is not to tell you, oh, don't do this because it's horrible. Absolutely not. You can do whatever you want. But if you want to send a particular message, if you want to have a particular lifestyle, and if you clicked on this video, I guess that you like that, I would definitely avoid to show too much. For example, if you're showing a little leg, maybe you should cover your chest. While while if you're showing your chest, maybe you can wear a long skirt. And you can be pretty, you can be a little bit sexy, but you can still do it with elegance. Another thing is not being afraid of being feminine. And I actually made a whole video on this, so if you're interested on my take on femininity, definitely go watch it, because I really loved making that video and I really don't want to repeat myself and make this video super long. And final tip, there are definitely a lot of things that you can do, subtle changes, subtle details that are gonna make you look a little bit more expensive. One of these things is, for example, wearing heels, especially if you're wearing a very minimal outfit such as jeans and a shirt, for example. You can easily elevate it if you're wearing a little cute pair of heels, or always wearing a body oil, something shimmery, something that will make you glow. Or another thing is to always have a manicure, and if you like it, you can put a little nail polish, or you can have short simple nails, whatever you like. Another thing is jewelry. You know the vibe. Again, these are all beauty tips that will enhance your beauty. But real elegance is not something you can fake. It's not something that comes from the outside. It's something that comes from the inside. But of course, we love doing all these things. We love self-care, and all these things will definitely make you look even better. So we are at the end of today's video. I really hope that you learned something. And as always, I absolutely want to hear your thoughts and your tips. As I said in my last video, I know that you girls are into self-growth and self-development, so you might know more than me on this topic. So if you have something to add, definitely let me know. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. And as always, if you want to connect with me, in the description you'll find all of my information and my other socials. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.